So, hi everybody. Welcome to a new Rebalance talk. Today with Andreas Knie, which is a sociologist, expert, among other things, on the social impacts of technology. And we are going to talk with him a lot on this social dimension of technology. Hello, Andreas.
Hi.
Maybe you can begin by sharing with us the experience you have on these issues and the point of view from which you will answer our questions.
Yeah, this is not easy. Welcome to everybody. I'm here located in Berlin. It could be that the internet is something a little bit weak because we are middle in Germany. We can build a lot of nice cars, but what we hardly do is internet. So that for the first remarks. Yeah, I'm looking a little bit older, so that I have a lot of experience in this stuff because I studied political science, but I wrote my dissertation about the diesel engine and my habilitation about the Wankel engine. So I'm a little bit more a political engineer. And then we decided at the Wissenschaftszentrum Berlin, that is my home institute. It's public funded and it is part of the public academic landscape in Germany. We decided not to write papers, but also to test our hypothesis. Is it true what we are thinking or is not true? And we act a little bit like engineers, and then we build products and services, and we found companies together with Audi, for example, BMW, with the public transport. And we made a lot of experience with all these new stuffs. We knew leasing and knew renting business. And during this time, I decided to go to the Deutsche Bahn, the DB. And I was 16 years at the DB to make my practical things here, to check what is possible in the public transport and what is not possible. And I saw, and my experiences was very fast that not so much is possible. And so we decided to found another thing that is the Innovation Center for Social and Technical Change. And we tried to invent the new world on a clear campus. We invented a campus of the future, the EUREF campus, and we did a lot of things with autonomous cars and Sektorkopplung, like we called it in Germany, and we combined the transition in the energy together with the energy, together with the transition in the mobility stuff. So to make it short, I decided again to come back in the academia and to write and think about it, and to come back to make more independent research to say what is wrong, and there's a lot of things wrong when we'll change the situation. In parallel, I'm a professor at the Technische Universität here in Berlin, so I can say that I have experience from the practical side, but also from the scientific side, and I want to try to change and to combine all these different worlds. But in Germany, that is almost impossible, because we have silos, we have a clear distance between science and entrepreneurs, and we have no interchange, so it is a little bit hard to make these different to be in these different worlds. But I try my best, and so I can say from the scientific and from the practical world what we can do and what we should be not do.
Then Andreas, let me ask you what BMW is asking everybody of us. Do you like driving? Do you like driving? Because, you know, the company BMW is evoking by asking us if we like driving, not just the utility of moving from one place to another because we need to go to some place to do something, but as well to the meaning of driving, you know, the value of self-control, of freedom, of... So what is the right answer to BMW question if we like driving?
I would say that is the answer, or the question and the answer is coming from the 20th century. because the car is, say, a new thing, not older than 100 years, and it was very popular in the 50s and the 60s. And driving, and especially BMW, is meaning self-driving, is a fundamental experience for the modern world. I drive my own car at this time when I want and in the space what I prefer. Own space, own time, that is a key message for the modern world, the DNA for the modern world. And but now things have changed, and especially for man, it is unbelievable. The machine is doing it much better, and so that means that especially not only BMW but also Daimler and Volkswagen have the problem that everybody in the board is thinking that the man is doing it. If I drive, I am. If I do not drive, I'm not existing anymore. And it is unbelievable, and it is not in their mind that the machine is doing this job much better, much safer, and much better in a sustainable way than we do it. So that means that these questions and the answer have to be, we need a new interpretation of this. And I would say, for me personal, yes, I like driving, but I would not doing by myself.
Then the next question will be, do you like a robot driving you? So a robot, which is a
Yes.
machine which is doing things better than us, and probably is going to be very soon intelligent, sensitive, and responsible to the environment as well to the passenger needs. So it's not a threat to to have these robots moving us all around.
Yeah, we have a lot of robots. The world is full of robots, but they are hidden, and we men think that the last free world needs self-driving situation, and I would say that is the wrong perception that we have. And to make it clear, we have a lot of experience with partly automated cars and shuttles, because in Berlin and in Europe, we do not have autonomous cars. We have a lot of experience with Waymo and with the Apple cars, with the Tesla cars in America, but not in Europe, because we have the regulation are too strong and too strictly. We have what we are missing in Europe, and especially in Germany, is a trial and error culture. So that we need the products perfect coming from heaven. And so we do not know how it come to these perfect products. And therefore we are forced to adapt this from America, like the smartphone, it's coming from America, like Google, it's coming from America. We had a lot of similar things, but not in a perfect way, and we have no trial and error experience. But with this short experience, we know that the automatic cars much better, and the autonomous car is different. To say we have automatic car, that is, we are still in the front seat, but more and more things are coming from the machine, till to the things that we only are part of the game. That we push the button, a car or a shuttle is coming, we sit down, and the car is driving us to the next point B, and we leaving the car. So we are not only, we have to change our thinking that we are the, like we say in Germany, the halter and this from the steering point, and we are, so to say, the boss of the system. That is past, and we will have in the future. We have machines and systems that will doing that for us, and it will much better, much more safety, and much more sustainable.
Okay, so let's go to the legal discussion and the moral discussion of the rights and responsibilities of electronic beings. You know that the European Parliament has been discussing what are the who is responsible for the decisions that a car, an autonomous vehicle, is taking instead of the passengers. And they try to define this idea of electronic beings, the rights of electronic beings, kind of the rights of the animals, different from the human beings. So human beings, we are in between animals and electronic beings. So how much this is, in a way, avoiding the fast implementation of autonomous vehicles, all the uncertainty, which is moral and legal in a way.
Yeah. Also, again, this is an old-fashioned question. It is thinking from a point of, I'm the boss. Ow! Now the machine is the boss. What I have to do? What is coming? I'm very concerned. Who's responsible? But this is when the machine is going over, we will have totally different problems. So the quality of the machine, the quality of the performance will much better, much higher. It is much safer, it is much sustainable, and so we will have a system who's responsible, and the system has to be charged when something is going wrong. It's very easy because and at the end of the day, the system has a personified responsible people who are on the board, who are in charge when something is going wrong. So that is not a problem what we will have when we are doing these machines. We think that we will have such a kind. We have in Germany all the same questions with the ethic committee. We have for everything in Germany an ethic committee. What we will do when the machine have to decide, what have I to do? Do I kill the baby or the small the kid, or do I have to kill the grandmother? That is not a problem what the machine will have, because when the machine is knowing I'm not in a good situation, I will stop. So we have a totally different logical situation with the machine-based automotive traffic system than we have in mind now. So we will have these problems, or we will not have these problems when we introduce all these machines, and we will find people who are responsible for this.
But so anyway, not deciding what the machine decides not to decide and stop is also a decision, let's say. And then the concern is, if we talk about digital ethics, that machines are rational, they have full information, they are much better informed than us, they are objective, they are rational, but maybe they like compassion. They like as well the sense of meaning we have. Maybe in 50 years they will have, but right now it seems that human beings, we are more sensitive in these contradictory situations, and algorithms are much, I would say, rational and much utilitarian in the decisions they take. So do you think that we will be happy that cars, let's say, cars take or don't take decisions instead of us? To what extent? We are ready. This generation, I mean.
Yeah, maybe a small step back. Cars are very dangerous. We have a lot of deaths in the traffic because we have to change this. The traffic is, to say, a very easy situation. We have a playing field what is very easy. We have rules, but nobody is adopting these rules. People are tired, people are drunken, people are aggressive, people do not respect these rules. And the machine is only thinking, I have to respect the rules. When everybody is doing that like machines, we would need no machines. But we are doing it now. No, we are crossing the borders every day. Though we have the public transport and the public space, we have these problems, and at the end of the day, we have a lot of dead people. So when the machine is coming, they will only accept these rules. Very easy, and they will do it. And so we have, at the end of the day, we have a lot of more quality in the traffic. We have a lot of more optimizing the fleet, and we can have a lot of more quality of life when we are introducing the machines, as we are doing it.
Okay, I see. Yes. We are talking about disruptive technologies in transport and communications that are changing. We are talking a lot on the implications for the user, but they are also changing the market, of course, the market, the industry, the service providers. So we are moving to a mobility as a service, as paradigm for the business. And in this change, in this paradigm shift, what you have defined it as the green car of the future. What kind of new market regulations, patterns of use will require?
Yeah, a lot, because our regulation in Europe, maybe in North America as well in the world, is focusing on the private car. The car or the car, the combustion engine driven car is that what regulation no. And private car itself, we have in Germany the option that you can park your private car on the public space. Sometimes you have to pay, sometimes you have not to pay. But it is possible. We have to think about this. It is possible to take my private car in a public space. It is only possible with cars, not with chairs or tables. I believe you have a table and we'll put it on the street. Everybody say you are crazy, but your car is accepted. So that is the first thing. And so the rules, we have these Straßenverkehrsordnung, Straßenverkehrszulassungsordnung, all these big things that we have in Europe, is focusing on optimizing the private car. For example, if I'm sitting here in the middle of Berlin, if I would have a private car, I can park my car in front of my house and I have to pay nothing. If sometimes maybe in Barcelona or in some big city in Europe, you have to pay a little bit more, maybe 100 a month, sometimes 150 a month, but it's relatively cheap. So if now the car sharing or the bike sharing is coming, they have to pay an extra fee. So that means that mobility as a service means combining different sharing option to one integrated service have no business backbone. It is not possible to make with these integrated service money, because the cheapest option we have, not only in Germany, is a private car. And if we do not change these rules, if we not change that it is not anymore allowed to park a private car on the street, you have to find a parking slot in a private space and you have to pay the real price for this. If we do not change this, mobility as a service will be a nice idea, but will not work. And in Germany, I have only a focusing on Germany and frankly to say only on Berlin. We will not have the idea to change it. And we have a green, red government here. We have a left green government. We have a government who is doing, or the government is willing to say we need a sustainable mobility system. We need a change. We need the paradigm shift. But it is doing nothing because the private car is accepted. When it is accepted in the next years, we have no idea how we will Verkehrswende, this wonderful word in Germany, will not work. And mobility as a service will be a niche product, have no chance to be a realistic perspective.
I see. Now we have a question by Alain Lostis, colleague of us, asking about trains. And this is related to my next question I had here for you about electrified motorways. I have seen electrified motorways in Sweden. Maybe there are in other places in Europe. And it seems to me that in an electrified motorway, tracks are becoming trains in a way. So what's the future of for railways on freight transport for you? I mean, trucks are going, autonomous trucks may become, moving at night, let's say, electric by through motorways, can be really competitive in relation to trains.
Yeah, we have a motto in the European Commission: freights belong to the trains. But the fact is that trains are too expensive. It is much cheaper to take the trucks, and you can see it. Go to a typical German highway, and you see this trucks on the right side moving like a train. They already did it, or they do it. But this is not the solution, because they need too much trucks, they need too much space. It is an inefficient way of moving freight from A to B. We need trains, but we have to change the routes. It is the same. We have to change what costs to bring things, passengers, freight from A to B, and what does it cost to use the public space? Does it cost to use the highway? We have a toll system, you know this. We have a toll system in Europe, but not everywhere in Europe. It is very, very costly to go doing the Switzerland. So everybody is using the train. Totally different to Austrian. That is very expensive to use the train. So everybody is taking the train, the truck. So, and if we do not change these economic routes, if we do not change the political regulation, we will not have any chance to get more freight from the trucks to the trains. And so the industry is now thinking, okay, we have to change a little bit. We changed the combustion engine from the diesel engine to an electric or a hydrogen engine, and maybe we will do it in an automatic, like platoon format, and so we have more efficient on the street. But this doesn't work. No, this is under the circumstances that you will not change the fundamental rules of the economics. So that is not a perspective. So you have to change it. It has to cost a lot of money more to bring the freights by train, by trucks than by train. But this means for us all, for the consumers, that we have to pay a little more for the things that we are buying in the supermarket. Maybe when we will change this in this world, we have to pay 10 to 15% each product more. But the question is it not a better way to do it? Because otherwise we will not have a perspective how we can be a sustainable economy.
I see.
So there is, long story short to say, there is no real perspective in making an automotive truck system, even by battery systems or by hydrogen. We have to change the paradigm, not to take the trucks only for the last mile. We need a hub and spoke system. Between hubs, we need trains, and only the last miles, the spoke is doing by trucks. But we have to change it, but the rules, the economic rules, the regulation, the basic regulation is totally against this system. So we have to change the politics, and then we will change the technology.
Okay, but the European Commission has been trying to do so for many years, and it seems that it's not working in general in Europe. Maybe it's working in Netherlands, in Germany, in some parts of Europe for some traffic, but in general, railways is not being modernized, and the regulations are not changing as fast as should be. So it seems that the market is reacting again in a way. So it's not so easy, because the Commission is concerned on that years ago. and it's not
Commission,
advancing very much.
Commission is always concerned about the future. We just discussed these topic, of course, since 30 years. And but we have to say we have to say it very clear. We have a very powerful industry.
Yeah.
And this is the car industry, and the car industry is mostly located in Germany. And Germany is doing what the EU is making. The secret or the, I would say, nothing in Europe is possible against Germany. And Germany have a clear perspective: cars, cars, cars. As passenger transport, so as train, as trucks. We have a heart for the railways, but only as a second place. And we have decided, and the government that we have now under Angela Merkel have decided, we will support our car industry. And that means that we do a lot of pressure. For example, the Euro 7 norm, the Euro 7 standard, but is actually killing the combustion engine. That is not acceptable by the German government. And we delay and delay and delay. And that is the same that we have with the truck system and the impossible to do more on trains, because it depends, very easy to say it, on the German government.
I see. You have been changing a little bit the subject, only a little bit. You have advocated in favor of bus rapid transit systems because they are, you say, fast, inexpensive, and you say that they are the ideal solution for large cities. Are you thinking on European cities, or are you thinking on cities around the world? Let's say I'm working on bus rapid transit systems in Brazil, making proposal as well for Addis Abeba, but I'm not sure if this can work in more advanced and sophisticated European cities.
Yeah, we have a big debate in German cities. What is better, trams or autonomous cars, or maybe the bus rapid transport systems? And it depends who you ask, what is the best solution. It depends a little bit on the size of the city, of the density of the city. If you have a large city with a high density, like big cities, we have not so much big cities in Germany, because we have a lot of smaller cities, not like Madrid, Barcelona, or Paris, or London. Maybe of Berlin, that is the only city we have in Germany. Munich, Hamburg, maybe. That is, these systems need a lot of space. That is the problem, because the most of the bus rapid transport systems having a situation that no other mode is using these lines. So we need, but the public space is very, very, very narrow, and we need systems that can combine all the different modes on the space. So we need the time that every transport system have his own line is over. And that means that the time of the tram is perspective over. We need cars, bikes, maybe auch buses that can use the same street, and then we can try to bring the density with different modes of transport on the street. Sometimes we have trains, of course, but these trains, like as we already discussed earlier, is only using the hub and spoke. So we need hubs, and we need a high performance public transport between hubs. That is clear, but this is different, and that is not on the street. If we take the street, then we have the spokes for this, and then we have the combination of or we need transport modes that can use all the streets, that we can have different modes for one street, and then we have a better quality of service, and that will then that when we have concentrated on one thing and one system.
Mhm. After coronavirus, I mean, after we still are in the pandemics, uh, demand for mobility has reduced, and there are some optimists that believe that in a way teleworking, even e-commerce, will reduce the demand of transport in cities in peak hours. So people will travel less or will be more flexible on the needs for traveling, and may travel in another moment of the day, not in peak hour. This means that maybe we will not be in the problem of transporting as many people as possible in peak hour, as fast as possible, as cheap as possible. That maybe we can move to a more sophisticated transport system, which is concerned on the quality of the travel. I mean, the experience of the traveler, and the conviviality even in the transport system, because actually it's in the public system as well as in public facilities where people from different origins, different incomes, different genders go together. So do you think that we have to move from the idea of transporting as many people as possible, as fast as possible, as cheap as possible, to ways of moving people in a way that they can experience the time they are moving, not just as a time they waste, as a dead time, but as a time they can use to be with other people, even through mobile phones. So do you see this change as possible and as good evolution in European cities? Or this is just naive in a way?
A typical sociology answer is it depends. The situation is unclear. I would say we have totally different situation to, well, we have totally different options to react in the pandemic. We have lower incomes, they have no chance to react. They need to go to the working place, they need to take the public transport, they need the need that their kids are going in school, no homeschooling because they are not able to make homeschooling. So the lower income do not have any chance to make these decisions that you just reported here. They have to do the same thing that they did before the pandemic. It changed a little bit when you have more options, when you see, hey, it is better not to go every day to work, but only 2 or 3 days, or is doing what we are just doing, to make a Zoom call. It's just better. I have more options. I'm more flexible. But that is not the real world for everything for us. What we see is that, and what we measure, we do a lot of measurement in these days, is that we believe that all the traffic that is around the working place, that is not coming back to the old numbers. That in this case, I agree to what you are thinking about it. And we say our number is only 70% is coming back. So we can save 30% of the working place oriented traffic volume. That is a lot of things because this segment makes a lot, roughly 30% of all the traffic. So that we can save, and we can bring and we can reduce the need to go from A to B. Very easy, and a lot of companies are forced now to give their workers and their employees more freedom. We have in Germany, especially in Germany, we have this control thing. We have to control everybody, and you can control the people only when you see the people on the working place. I see you, then I know you are working. Do I not see you, I do not know if you're working. And now this has to change, and this will not come back in the old way. That is one thing. The other thing is that we have a change in a little change in the estimation of using the airplanes, because we know that using the flight, then you have to forget anything about the climate change. One flight from Berlin to Palma, for example,
Yes.
is exactly the same if you drive a car for 1 year. And if you want to rescue the climate, you can't fly anymore. That is very easy. But not everybody is doing this, but a lot of things, a lot of people think about and reflecting their flight patterns. And what we know, or what we think, what we'll do, what will change is that the flights into the countries, the inner flights will going very down. The number will going down. You will fly in Europe, you will fly from between the continents, but the flights will definitely reduce the numbers. So it will a little bit more reflected, but this is not true for the flights what you're doing for holidays. We estimate that the holiday flights will come back to the almost same amount that we have before the pandemic. That is so in make it short, to make coming to the point, what you think. I would say no, it is not so just a big change. Home office and mobile working will increase a lot and will change a lot of things, but the patterns of life, the pattern of thinking, the philosophy of life, the philosophy to come from A to B very fast will not change.
This will not change. It's important argument. Yeah. Good to know your point of view.
Sorry about this. It is bad.
Exactly, yeah. But it's good because it makes us to think. Yeah. Gadir, a colleague of us, is asking you about public transport in the sense that if autonomous vehicles give more flexibility for door-to-door mobility, as well as people have a little bit more flexibility as well in the schedules. They don't have to always move in peak hours. It seems that the public transport is becoming less competitive in relation to other individual ways of transport, in particular autonomous vehicles.
This is I agree to this. It depends. Sociology answer. It depends a little bit on the same on the size of the city. Barcelona, Madrid, Paris, London, Berlin is big cities, so there is a need for, like we already mentioned it, for the hubs and the high performance transport modes between these hubs that are trains, definitely trains, to come from A to B. But the hub is not the end of the journey. You will not live in the hub. You will not work in the hub. You have to go from A to B. And this means that in big city, we have still in public transport in an old traditional way with trains, maybe with rapid bus transit systems, but only from hub to hub. And the spoke will provide by, as mentioned, as different ways of modes. And this is the business for the autonomous cars. But when you think about the next, or think about cities with medium size, maybe 500,000 habits, I would say, and I will make it very clear, the autonomous car is the solution, because it is so much easier to come from A to B only by pushing your smartphone. And when you do it in a pooling system, not only hailing that you are being the only one in the taxi, like a taxi cab, but you have to do it in a pooling. And we have a lot of experience with pooling now. We have a lot of pooling companies. I do not talk about Uber. I talk about pooling companies that bring the people from A to B and collect these people from A to B with different ways. And when you see that is now doing by a driver, and when you have the imagination that in the next 5 years, this driver is not necessary anymore, and you can see what this means for from the cost side, because the driver cost makes a lot, around about 50%. 50% of all the cost of the transportation is coming from the personality cost. When you have this in mind, and you will see, hey, no driver is need anymore, you will see that the autonomous car system that will reduce the number of cars. It is very, very important to say, to reduce the number of cars, forbid the parking of private cars in the public space, not to forget this. Then you will have a reducing number of cars with a much better performance of the autonomous cars. And that means that, to say very clear, the end of the classic public transport with buses, trams, or other ways.
Yeah, Andreas, do you think we're going to see drones moving freight on city skies? Let's say Amazon drones moving, because this will be very efficient and profitable. This will be highly convenient. But you know, you open the sky, the window of your house, your apartment, and then you see the sky crowded of Amazon drones. It seems that is not acceptable. Oh, yes, it is. We will become used to. But what do you think about? Because the technology is there.
Yeah, I'm a little bit older, as you know. So I had the experience that I was in New York City, times when flying was a great choice. We did not knowing anything about climate change. We loved to fly, and we went a lot of times to New York City. And between the airports of New York City and the city of Manhattan, you have all these helicopters, a lot of helicopters. Hailing was great. The flight is arriving, and you take the heli, and you are in 50 minutes in Manhattan. Like the drones will do it now, but they stopped it because too much helicopters doesn't work. And this is the same for drones. Drones are a lot of more technology. I know they are driving by battery systems, by electric mobility parts, and they have a lot of autonomous steering technology, but too much is too much. And
but
so
they can self-organize themselves, because
yeah,
they're intelligent, they know all the others all around, so they can optimize themselves.
Yeah, like coming back to the public transport thing from earlier, you need to collect people. You need to collect things. Not every package with every drone, one passenger with one drone from A to B. That doesn't make sense, and that is senseless if it is an autonomous driving system or a electric mobility driving systems. When you have one drone with one passenger, one drone with one freight, with one parcel, that doesn't work. Now you have to bring different parcels, different people in one drone, and that makes a lot of sense when you have other opportunities. Maybe you have a big or you have parts in the world what is very hard to come with the car, like big mountains or villages very, very far away from the civilization, so to say. Then it makes a lot of things to take drones, or you have rescued this situation. So there are a lot of interesting opportunities for drones, but not to bring the parcel, the peoples in a big high density city.
But because they will not be efficient, you say?
Not because they will not combining, they will not pooling. You need one of the future steps is pooling, is access, is not having private opportunities. Private will locked the situation. We need more efficiency, and that means pooling and using the things, not owning the things, and that is true for the drones too. If they do not pool the flight, they will not have a success.
Okay, because what we see is with IoT, Internet of Things, BD, big data, I, AIS, artificial intelligence system, the combination of these three things, that we don't need theory. So we don't need to explain these drones how to move all around, how to intake, how to create hub and spokes. They can be so intelligent to self-organize themselves. So even we don't have to forecast mobility demand or plan infrastructure of services or optimize transport systems, because all these algorithms are so clever, get so many data all the time, just in time, and organize themselves, that it seems that transport systems can be optimized in an artificial way without a human being having a theory how to do that. So for many people, for me, if I can say, I can imagine that we can, the system can be optimized and can work. And then I see the problem is that maybe human beings, we don't like to see all these things going on around. That we don't like to, we will not like, we resist to live in a smart city with everything is all optimized, but us. So all the, as you said, machines don't make mistakes. But then at the end, the city is so well organized, so optimized, transport, energy, water, everything, that only human beings make mistakes. Therefore, only robots will be happy in this smart city. What do you think
Yeah,
about it?
it depends what we're talking about. We're talking about the traffic. We're talking about public transport. We're talking about passenger transport, freight transport. We're talking about drones. We're talking about
Everything.
the functionality of a city. The functionality, because we have also already these automated systems. We have power in every apartment. We have water in every apartment that is doing by machines, and nobody's concerned about this. Is a machine doing that? No, we do not know it. Who is doing it? The machine is doing it, and so it's the same with driving cars. The machine is doing that for us. In the year 25, so to say. So this is that is much better, and the quality of life is in the future that what the machine is doing better than we do, we have to do it by the machines. And but life is not only driving a car. If you want driving your own car, you can go to the racing what's the Rennstrecke. You can make your own racing part. You can rent a private campus, and you can drive your own car. No? But in the future, there is no need to do it, and you are dangerous because the machine is much doing that better. Mm-hmm. But you can sitting in the cafe, you can talk, you can interact with people, you can make a lot of things in the city. You find the diversity, the plurality of the people, to interact with other people. That is the quality of life. In a safe way, in a high quality. The air quality is smoothing. There is no bad quality in the air. There's no noise. It is very the sound is easy, and so we have a lot of more quality of life that we can concentrate on what human being is, and not what we do not need, what the machine is doing better.
Okay, okay, that's clear.
It's not a cold. Sorry, it seemed a little bit when you're talking about that. It seems like a cold city. We have all these dimension, the bad pictures of the future cities. That is not the thing what we have in mind, because we need more space for that people can be people, and that we can have a much safer and sustainable audience that we have now.
Yes. let's talk a little bit about digiphrenia, which is a concept I just was aware last week, which is this wish human beings have to be in different places at the same time. Not to move, but to be in different places at the same time. And it seems that telepresence is a technology that may help us to be in different places at the same time. So not our body, but a recreation of our body that is reacting according to our behavior, something like that. Do you think that telepresence is something realistic we can think for the next 20, 30 years? Or is just a futuristic nightmare?
Yeah, what is doing when you we will when you this argument what we had earlier with the machine is doing better. You can say in some of these video conferences, maybe the machine would be doing a better way to argument and to make this talk than the machine than the people itself. So I sometimes I have the impression that who I or the opposite who I'm talking with is not the people who I think who is. It is an avatar.
Yes.
This man is not think is not doing, or he's a machine who's called, or you are a machine or I'm a machine.
Yes.
And actually I'm sitting in the cafe around the corner and doing all the other thing what I have to do. So there's a lot of things possible. I'm not an expert in this situation, but what we learn with the video calls and all these things that plays, that is, I would say, it is a little bit different. And the revolution thing of the digitalization is that privacy needs not anymore a private room. Privacy, you can have privacy everywhere. You have your thing in the ear. You have everything what you need. So that space and presence is changing a lot. You can bring people, 4 or 5 people in one car. In earlier times, you will ask, hey, is that possible? How have I react? Have I talked to the people? This is a strange people. Have I to say, good, hey, what are you doing here? Have I to talk? What are the rules? Now it is senseless because everybody is in his own world, because his private world is in his ear, on his pocket, and he's doing his private life and not knowing in what kind of space he is. So this will change a little bit. This will change a lot of things. So maybe we will have these things in the near future, but I do not know if it works.
Yes. Let's talk a little bit on transhumanism. We are having a technological, futuristic conversation talk with you, Andreas. Transhumanism, which is, this theory that believes that in 2050, 2060, machines will be much more intelligent than human beings. They already are, but let's say a mobile phone may have more information, more capacity to transform information into knowledge than the whole humanity altogether. This is the theory of Redwood Vale and so on. So transhumanism is an idea that maybe is going to happen. It doesn't look unrealistic if you see the exponential evolution of technology, all technologies, computing, but all the other technologies. And we see how technology is embedded into human behavior as well as human bodies, how we have technology inside us, and we will have more in the future. So this integration between human beings and machines. So machines are going to be more sensitive, and human beings are going to be more efficient in a way, more reliable, have longer lives. This is transhumanism. So it's easy to make fun of this, but uh, looking at the facts and the evolution, the law of Moore that years ago is happening. So what are your prospects in relation to transhumanism and the evolution of technology for the next 30, 40 years?
It's hard to say, and it's hard to perspective here, I'm more, in this way, I'm more conservative or more conventional thinker. Because I say, as we already mentioned it earlier in our talk, there are a lot of things that the machine is doing better, but the machine as it's a machine. Humans are more emotionally, humans have a lot of other characteristics. And I would say the difference makes the game, not to combine and not to bring more and more part of the machine into our human life, and to be a human. I would say we will, the future is, or the salt of the future, so to say, is in the difference between human and machines, and in find a smart way to design these future in a way that we have a different world, what are doing by machines and what are doing by humans. And so I would say it is exactly the opposite. We will not have this combination. We will have the difference, but the part of the machines, and not to remind the picture of Sin City, or like these bad imaginaries, what we have in mind. Not, it is a lot of things what is makes the world better with the machines, but we will be as a human survive when we are humans. So I would see, to make it very short, the difference is the future, and we will have to be aware that we will have these difference still live, that we have machine is machine, human is human, and not to combine these worlds in a new kind of new format.
But we can avoid that. So the point is that maybe this is the wish that most of us will share with you, but we can avoid that. I mean, in medicine, we can accept to die instead of a surgery that may give us 20 more years of healthy life. So
As
we
humans, we
can
will
avoid
accept this. As humans, we will accept. From a sociology perspective, we will accept. We have to accept to die because we are humans. Yeah? If we are not humans anymore, if we are robots or like all these combination types, then we will not having that, we are not humans anymore. So,
but you will accept to do your son to die when
yeah.
he or she is 10 years old, when there is a way to change the arm, to change the heart, to change an organ for another one, artificial. So we can avoid the technology to,
Yes,
we can stop engineers all over the world to develop things they like to do. Doesn't matter that they are needed or not.
it's sometimes very hard, but we have to accept it. Life is life, and machines are machines, so to say.
Okay, let me ask you a final
Yeah.
easy question like the others. An easy question, but I think it's right for me to ask you this because you have been working on sociology and technology in many different areas a lot of time. So do you think that we as human beings, we have the right to be inefficient, the right to be unconnected, unplugged, the right, to do things against utility? Even it is rational. Do you think that it may be rational to be slower than technology? Do you?
Yes, we have the right because we are humans. Yeah, back to the answer from the question before. We have all these people. We are different. Now we are coming more similar. Yes, the internet is bringing us together, and we are uh, coming. The formatation of styles is coming is more conventional. The conventionalizing all of lives is sometimes is horrible because everybody has the same clothes on, the same haircut. Everybody looks like the other, but that is only the first front, so to say. And behind the line, behind the curtain, we have a lot of difference, and we will have coming back to more difference. And so we have the right to be efficient to be not connected. Now we have all the same. We roughly calculated that with the digitalization, we will have 90% of the people. 90% of the people who connected will be part of these life that we already know as life, but at least 10% are different. And this makes life, that is the quality of life, the difference. Not only that we are the same like the other, but the difference of the people, the pluralization, the diversity of people makes the quality of life. And we will have people who are different to all these parts that we have discussed in the last hour.
Thank you very much, Andrea. This is a very nice ending. Very nice ending. I have to ask all colleagues which have been listening to us that I've been unable to make you many of the questions we have, just because we are changing the subject a little bit. Then when the question comes, we are talking about something else, but we will keep all these questions because all of them are very relevant. So thank you very much, Andreas. Thank you very much for your time. We enjoy a lot.
Thank you very much to you, and have a good time, and hope we will find the right solutions for the right things that we have to do in the next things, because we have a lot of things to do. We need a better world, and we can do a better world.
Even better ending. Thank you very much, Andreas.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.